What's going on, amazing people? It's your boy RGG. I'm back with another video. Excuse the blazing lights in my face, but I got a lot of light around because I'm about to do this video, as you could tell from the thumbnail and the title, Disassembling the Stealth Arms Platypus. Alright, that's the main thing in this video. I think I'm also gonna show you guys how to install the optic. I already got the optic on there, so I would have to take it off and put it back, but we'll see how that goes. But for the most part, we're gonna go over how to disassemble the gun, so you can clean it, because you're gonna have to clean it. Some of y'all get these 1911s and you're like me, and I know you can go to Stealth Arms, you can look in the manual and do all of that stuff, but sometimes it's just easier for somebody to explain it, I guess. Well, it's good to just have a video out there on it. And I was confused myself. I didn't know exactly how to break it down or whatever the case was, so I'm gonna do my best to explain it in plain English. And bear with me, let's do it, man. Let's disassemble this damn thing. Okie dokie mochoki. So here's the gun, guys, and it's empty. Very empty. Okay, I don't even have a magazine in there. Let's see if I can lock it back, just for the YouTube. I don't know why I just turned the light on for the YouTube people. There's no mag in there whatsoever. Drop this hammer. Fire in a safe direction. Gun is safe. No ammo around me anywhere, so I'm trying to be as safe as possible to show you guys how to break this gun down. So there was a question posed to me by one of the guys in the community that had bought the gun, and I was the same way when I got it, because you know I'm not big on the 1911 platform, so I wasn't really sure how to take it down. But now that I've been dealing with this gun for quite some time, I think I know how to take it down and clean it now. I've only cleaned it once. This is going to be my second time because it is dirty. You can look all back here and see it's dirty. Me touching it and stuff got my hands dirty and stuff. So the gun is dirty. So there's two ways you could take this down, right? It's the way that I was taught originally by my buddy over at Stealth Arms. And then there's the other way, which is the way that I do it. That I think is a little bit easier, especially for somebody that's new to the platform. So I'm going to tell you the other way and then show you the way that I do it. So the other way would be, I would take the slide off, right? Unscrew the guide rod. I have to push in on the spring, on the spring and guide rod, so the guide rod sticks out, and then I unscrew it, and then I got to be careful not to let that thing pop back and go crazy, because to me, that's for guys that's experienced, you know, that do this a whole lot. The easier way, you're going to need an Allen wrench. You need this size Allen wrench. Don't ask me what this size is, but this size Allen wrench actually fits into the hole, this hole right here, of this particular, the guide rod hole right here. This is a two-piece guide rod. So when you're listening to me talk, please don't listen for all the perfect technical terms. Please just watch the video. You have to do your own research. Maybe read the manual when you get the gun, or go through the other stages. But I'm going to show you guys the best way that I know, and this is how I do it. So you'll take your Allen wrench, and goes here. You'll unscrew this thing, right? And I already, full disclosure, I had to loosen it up a little bit, you know, to make it real easy. And I'm going to take this piece out. Lay that down to the side. Now, this is kind of typical on 1911s, because what you're going to have, it's like usually you'll push in like the bushing. You press this in. Well, this is I think called the bushing, this piece around the side. You're going to push in the spring. Turn this to the side so that this will come out and it'll bring the spring out, and I'll show you. There's a tool for this, and you can even use the back of like a typical 1911 magazine, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. I use my finger. So here's the thing. I press in with my finger, right? I'm gonna try to show you as good as I can on the camera. Press in all the way. It allows me to be able to turn this piece to the side like so, and this will come out. You don't want to let it fly, so you hold it carefully. There's this cap on there. You know, take that off. Once I get it to this point, right, I like to go ahead and take the slide off. So when you're taking the slide off, what you're gonna do, I'm gonna use this as my pointing tool. there's a little bitty notch right here. There's two notches. There's a bigger notch and a smaller notch. You're going to pull the slide back to where the smaller notch is going to line up with this part of your slide stop right here. The smaller notch needs to line up with the slide stop. And then on the other side of the gun, you're going to press. Somebody's at my door. You're going to press out this pin, which will pop the slide stop out. So I'm going to show you how to do it real quick. The way I like to do it is, I like to have the hammer down. It just makes it easy to rack the slide. And once you done already took out the other piece, it's going to go back easy anyway. And I'll show you how it looks when it's lined up. So you want to line it up like this. You see that? Matter of fact, while I got it lined up, I'm just going to push it out. You see me push that out? And I can just take it out on that side. Boom. That piece right there. Now the slide is going to come off fairly easy. It just slides right on off of there. Once we get to this point, we're going to need to remove this little piece. Right? Just to make, well, actually, you should be able to pull the spring. Wait a minute. If that's over there, okay. So at this point, as you can see, when it's like this, now I could take this spring and everything out, right? Got that out. So once we at this point, the next step, we got to get this piece out in order to allow the barrel to be able to slide out, from what I know. So what I like to do is start turning it this way. As I kind of push up on the barrel, start pushing it out a little bit. I do that. I don't think you have to do that. And it's about right here. It's like a sweet spot. About right there. I hope y'all can see that clear. Where that actual piece, there we go, will start to pop up out of there. You see this? See where I'm at with it? And the whole thing will just come on off of there. And then you can just slide your barrel straight on out. Comes off. Now you have the gun completely disassembled. Your frame, and these are the only pieces. Like, this is everything. I'm trying to get it all in the camera. Move my Allen key. That's everything. So you got your frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. You got this gun completely disassembled. Now you can go and clean it, and then we'll show you how to put it back together. Okay, so I gave it a quick wipe down, and now we're going to go back through the, I didn't want to deep clean because I didn't want to take too long with the video, but we're going to go ahead and reassemble it, man, just the way we took it apart. So you're going to start with your slide. You're going to slide the barrel in from the front with the ring facing down, just like this. Okay? That lined up. Bring that in there till it stops at the back. Fair enough? That's in there. Then I'm just going to pop this ring up. I just like to do that. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Comes in handy later. This spring and this piece, this has to be face down where you see the little hook at. You put that back in the front, and it just rests right there in front of the barrel piece. And you want to have, at this point, you need to have this ring facing out like this. So this is kind of how you want it to look. Let me turn it around. I'm gonna hold it in because it will fall down on you. You want it to look just like this, with this little ring facing down. Because at this point, I like to put the slide back on. Okay? It can and cannot get tricky. The reason this ring has to face down, is because, let me see, can you guys see that good? Because it has to line up with this hole right here. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I mean. Uh-oh. Come on, shaky bakey. I like to point the gun up so the stuff don't fall weird on me, right? So I just kind of let it go and bring it in till I can look through this little hole right here, and I can see when that piece comes across and lines up, and it just lined up, you'll see it. Like, you'll see when it lines up, and when it does, you want to take your slide stop, make sure I got it nice and even. You're going to take your slide stop, and it should go in. It's not going to go all the way in. I just put it in to be able to, because I got it lined up. So I just have it right there right now. And remember what I was telling you about this. See if I can see it. Oh, dang. Get your ass back in there. Remember what I was telling you about the small notch? I don't know if you can see it now, but there's a big notch here, and then there's a small notch right here. I'm going to try to show it in the camera the best that I can. I think I can see it now. That notch right there. Remember that had to line up with the back of the slide stop? Same thing, putting it back together. See if I can do it from this side. I'm going to bring this piece up. Bring my slide back. And the slide will move pretty easy right now. So I'm bringing that slide back to that little notch piece. Lines up about right there. And I should be able to make sure. Because I hope this didn't move while I was doing too much. I have to turn it back around so I can maneuver things. Okay. So I got that notch lined up, you see? And I could pop it right in there. Boom, we in. We in like Flynn now. Go on this side, that little piece sticking out, that's what you want to see. I'm bringing my slide back forward. Bring it back to the front of the game, like so. Then I like to take this piece. There's a little groove right here on the front of this piece. See that little groove? See if I can show you the groove. Little groove right there. That little groove. That groove has to line up with the bottom of the barrel, because that's where the opening is. If you look it in there, you know it's closed off all the way around, but right on the bottom there's an opening. You'll know what I'm talking about when you got the gun in your hand. So basically you lining that groove up. My bad. You're going to line that groove up. And I like to just kind of move the spring out the way. And I'm making this sound way harder than it is. But you'll have some fun doing it. It's not that difficult at all. I got the groove. I don't have the groove lined up. I'm going to turn it that way a little bit more. Boom. Get that out of my way. And see, it's in there. I line that groove up. Then I'm just going to spin it all the way back over. Okay? And let it sit there for a second. I'm going to grab this piece. This goes over here. And if you remember earlier when we pushed in on this piece to turn that to the side to get the spring out, you do the same thing to put it back in. So I'm going to put, you got to be careful because you don't want this thing to pop out and fly away from you. Push it all the way in. You're going to bring this across and you'll hear it pop into place. Watch this. Bam. It's right in there. At this point, the slide should work. Then all you got to do is you're going to screw the guide rod back in. Just put that right in there. I like to get it started. Take my Allen key. And you watch this video once or twice. I just do it to the stop. You don't got to do nothing crazy. Check all the functionality. I really made this sound and look harder than it is. It's not difficult at all. You want to check the functionality. Check trigger pull. Boom. Check the reset. Reset's working. Racket. I'm going to check my safety. Put the safety on. Trigger ain't pulling. Bring it down. Another trigger pull. Boom. We good. That's all I need to see. See if the slide lock back. Make sure everything is working. Boom. Gun's in place. So that's how you disassemble and reassemble the Platypus. I really want to show you guys how to put the optic on as well, but I'll save that for another video because it's pretty simple. But since I already have the optic on, I would have to go through the trouble of taking it off and then putting the original rear sight back on and go through all of that. But I'm hoping that I was able to explain that okay, man. It took way longer than, it seemed like the video was going way longer, because when you're doing it on camera, it just seems longer. But you just go back and watch it. I wanted to just explain it the way that I do it. That's the way that I disassemble and reassemble the Stealth Arms Platypus, man. Deuces.